Today on Toy Shiz, an old friend returns from the Dark Ages. Let's talk toys. Welcome back, everyone. Toy Shiz here, and I am back yet again to give you guys another fresh look courtesy of my friends over at McFarlane Toys. And today, we're totally checking out their brand new Spawn action figure line, the Mandarin Spawn, or it could be the Scarlet Edge Spawn, just like the original Spawn that was released years ago under Spawn the Dark Ages line. Just a very classic Spawn action figure. And traditional window box packaging, really nice Orient sort of style to it Spawn. Mandarin Spawn, really nice looking picture, art, everything about this box just screams Spawn. And a very Mandarin Spawn at that. Photo on the back, all the jargon, 22 POA, yada yada. Here is the barcode if you want to go ahead and screen grab it. Now, if you're not familiar with the Mandarin Spawn, he did show up at one point in the early Spawn comics, 165 I think it was. This version of the Mandarin Spawn, a man who, highly disfigured, makes a deal with Malbolgia, comes back and lays waste to the land. Now, the classic action figure, the Dark Ages Spawn, is in fact more of a warlord person that was killed during his battle of the Army of the Dead, comes back and is super Mandarin Samurai Ninja Master. You know what I mean? Like that type of deal, and has been repainted, recolored, redone a million times. Every color of the rainbow. It's like Mandarin Spawn Skittles at this point. Mandarin Spawn 2, that was part of a later line, does actually resemble the comic book version. A little bit different here and there. And I will say this, with the new Spawnverse coming out, if you're interested in this Mandarin Spawn, or just Spawn in general, I think he's definitely worth a pickup, as you'll soon see. So this is going to be fun. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice, hot, Spawn-tastic cup of coffee. This is a look at the brand new 2021 Mandarin Spawn by McFarlane Toys. And here's the Mandarin Spawn all taken out of the packaging. And just right off the bat, this is a very 2021 Spawn. And as we'll soon see how it stacks up paint-wise, how it looks, it's a very modern figure, which is fine, but it lacks that McFarlane charm. But really, where there is the lack of paint, they make up for in articulation. This is a super articulated Mandarin Spawn figure, and I have taken a look at the blue Mandarin Spawn, the one that came out previous, that was the Walmart exclusive version. This one, though, is just that classic Scarlet Edge Mandarin Spawn. It's fantastic. Comes with a few weapons, which is great. Nice bladed weapon right here. Really vibrant gold, very vibrant red, and then of course you have the silver of the blade. Now there isn't a whole heck of a lot of paint on both of these weapons, but it makes up for it in the ornate detail, especially on this version. You see the dragon, the very nice gold accented look of the blade, the dagger, everything about it is done very well, so no complaints there. Comes with a Spawn stand, which is awesome. Love seeing that logo right there. And yeah, here is the new 2021 Spawn. And it's, again, it's nicely done. It's nicely painted. This is now a very rubberized piece. Very ornate design to this guy. It's awesome. He looks fantastic. And I love the little details every which way. Again, very reminiscent of the original Mandarin Spawn. Not quite reaching it, but hey, on his wrists right here, the joints, there are tiny little faces. And that is very cool. That's awesome to see. As much as I don't really care for the ball joints on most McFarlane Toys figures nowadays, that's really cool to put a face on it. It won me over there. That's just totally different. On the backside, though, is where the paint stops. Now, it does break it up in that sense. If you want to go that route, you have different elements. Like here, right here, this little pouchy thing would have been painted on a previous original McFarlane Toys figure. So it makes you want more. The head articulation is very much just this. It'll kind of go forward, back, not really do much except look left and right. All these really jagged pieces are flexible rubber for the most part, but just be careful with them, just FYI. The articulation is solid though. It really is. He's got butterfly joints, nice movement. This side, of course, with a giant blade on his shoulder, yeah, kind of gets cumbersome in few instances. He does have bicep swivel on both sides. He'll spin at the elbows. He's got single jointed elbows. And again, while I don't care for the ball jointed wrist, you sculpted faces on him, so I'm down with it. That's really cool. Now, while some previous McFarlane figures I really wish would improve on the ab crunch, this guy does more than I've seen recently with other ones. Goes back, will spin at the waist and the upper diaphragm. More so at the waist, it's there, but it's hard to put your hands and get in there, to be honest with you. Because of this flap right here, it kind of hinders the articulation in the sense of you'll have to move it more off to the side because he doesn't have anything at the thighs. He's got double jointed knees, and again, look at the ornate details on this. Imagine a wash on this. Yeah, back in the day, they would have done that. Double jointed knees, which work well with the figure. You get a lot of nice posing out of him, and his feet will rock, which are interesting feats, of course, rotate as well. He is a really nice figure, and in all honesty, having a more articulated Mandarin Spawn, yeah, it's a win-win situation. I think the weapons really work with him. You can get him into all kinds of posing, put him on a flight stand, get him in that battle-ready position, flying through the air, gonna chop somebody right in half. The one thing I will tell you, recently I've noticed with my flight stands, they're getting very loose. I don't know why that is. That is a real bummer, to tell you the truth. But yeah, giving him these swords. Now, I do miss the shield from the original Mandarin Spawn. I think that would have just been the icing on the cake. But see, when you pair him up next to the original one, and yes, again, I have a bag somewhere with all the pieces. I just have his shield. It's somewhere. I'm not missing parts. I can't find the parts right now, but you get the idea. It's the Mandarin Spawn, okay? So we can move on. There is so much more detail, so much more paint on the original one. It's insane, right? But not much articulation. So while this one articulates and has a lot of nice details on him and paint, the old one still looks better. It's still going to be the classic figure. I mean, look at the shield right here. That is insane. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. But the new one having this articulation is nice as well. When you pair him up with the blue Mandarin Spawn, the one that just came out, very different figures overall. You could say these two are yin and yang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, that sort of deal. Put them, that Malbullshit put them to work if you want to create your own story in your head. They're both very lacking in the paint on the back of the figure, but the face on this one is cool. So I do think that red is better than blue, but the blue one I think you'll still have fun with. And in pairing him up with the recent Kickstarter Spawn, yeah, he is taller and should be a taller figure than the character of Spawn, the original Spawn, the Spawn we all know. And yeah, you can use all those Kickstarter weapons if you like. He does look good with a giant sword. The Necroplasm Blast won't exactly fit, but you can get him to work with him. And just in terms of other Spawn figures, put him with the Cyber Violator, Manga Cyber Violator. I really love this figure. But that's really going to wrap it up for my look at the brand new McFarlane Toys 2021 Mandarin Spawn, the Scarlet Edge. And overall, I'd say it's a solid buy if you're a Spawn fan. If you've always been kind of curious to the Mandarin Spawn, then yeah, it's definitely going to work for you. The articulation works for me. Anything from the prior one is a definite upgrade. It doesn't have better paint, it doesn't have the better sculpt, but it's still a very solid Spawn entry. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. Is this for you? Let's talk everything Spawn. And thank you again to McFarlane Toys for sending this over to give you guys this fresh look. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food. But most importantly, remember, you can't top the originals, but dang it all, it's not a bad Spawn at all. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.